Here we have the M800 RCT and the M800 RM microphone. They're both connected to RD port 1 and 2. This is the simplest setup that you can get with no daisy chaining involved. The touch panel will control your DSP in the ways that it can on the input and output side, and this will be able to initiate paging through the RD ports into the M8080D.
Here we have an example of a medium-sized project. In it we have, connected to the chassis of the M8080D, the remote microphone is connected to RD port 1. From there, out of the chassis, RD port 2 is going to the M800 RCT right here. From the expansion port of the RCT, it's going into the RD in port on this M800 RC as well as that one. And then from that M800 RC, it's going into the M822 IO. You can only have a maximum of 4 remote devices on one line with this system. Please note that it's very important that for all remote devices in your system, you need to use Cat5e, shielded cable, or better. In this example of a larger project where 2 paging microphones are required, you could connect RD port 1 directly to the first remote paging microphone and RD port 2 to the second remote paging microphone, but then you would completely lose system control, which is why we've added the port expander. For the connections in this system, you will need to take RD port 1 and put that directly to the input of this remote paging microphone here, and then take RD port 2 and go to the RD input on the port expander. Paging microphone number 2 will need to go to the audio input on the channel 1 input on the port expander, and then RD ports 2, 3, and 4 will need to go directly to each remote device, the touch panel here, the push button control, and the audio input output device on the end.
As you can see in this large example, we have remote paging microphone and several controllers. This would be for a large arena setup. How we have it connected is RD port 1 is connected to this controller, which is daisy chained from here to the touch panel, to this other controller, to the other touch panel. RD port 2 is connected to RD in on the port expander. The remote paging microphone is connected to the audio in on the port expander, and the 3 controllers on the end are connected respectively to ports 2, 3, and 4. They are connected directly because you can't daisy chain out of a port expander. Please note, for all of these connections, you need to use shielded Cat5e cable or better.